Well, well, well. I bet the last thing you expected was a second video today. Why? Yeah. Especially since I do come on every single morning, every day of the week at 5 o'clock Eastern. Yes, I do. This month, I'm going to be adding some extra videos. So there may be a few days, more than a few days actually, that have an additional video. Listen, I've been noticing some trending videos that are disturbing to me about a lot of folks that are really struggling in terms of money keeping, budget stretching, topics of that nature, getting out of debt, all the good stuff that we normally talk about in the morning. And if you've never been to my show in the morning, please get over there if you have an opportunity. I call myself the training wheels channel in terms of savings. I try to relate a lot of my videos for the folks that perhaps maybe at this moment in time, not forever, because they're not going to be in that forever place, might be at the moment at a lower income. And some people think they can't save even though they're a lower income situation. That is very, in my honest opinion, that is very not true. And we've spoken about many ways that we can save or keep or reallocate our money, to things that really matter and accumulate some money at the same time. So this particular month of June, think of it as a baseball game. Ever hear of a doubleheader game? Like two games at the same on the same day. Wow, for people who love baseball, that is a good thing. So I decided for this month of June, that I'm going to make an exception. There may be a number of days, at least maybe 10 or 15, maybe even 20 days, where you'll get two videos during this double header video month of June. And of course, it's about my favorite topics. There are going to be some personal growth videos coming on in reference to helping people keep money, save money, grow money, earn money, all the good stuff. All the good stuff that, in my honest opinion, that I do believe that we need. You hear a lot of negative talk. Okay, like me, while I have your ears here today, because even though this is basically just to let you know that's going to be like a double header kind of a month, you hear a lot of negative speak about, negative news. Turn on the news. Rarely do you ever hear the good news show. No, they ought to call it the bad news show because unfortunately that's what mainly is what you hear on mainstream media is the bad news. I'm here to remind folks of the good news. First of all, we know the good news. I mean, through faith. Okay, but the second good news is that no matter where you are in your life, you could always be in a better place. That's why I say, like when I make references to lower income situations, because that's what it is. It's a lower income situation. It doesn't define the person. So people feel that because they are a lower income household, that they are something less than, or it doesn't, means less than. And that's not a very kind way to think of oneself, in my honest opinion. But we could get into all those matters. That's like a personal growth kind of a show. Like, we could talk about stuff like that. Then, of course, for those that are new, then there are days that I just get into listicle types of shows. For example, 5 ways to stretch your budget at the grocery store. I'm just using that as an example. Like that'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and give 5 item specific ways to stretch a dollar or two or three at the grocery store. This is important, especially during these crazy times. Sometimes let's say if I'm doing online shopping, I just want to mention this. Now, some days, now recently, actually, I went to do some online shopping and I was happily astounded to find some things that I normally buy like really practically half off. Just a few months back, cake mix, for example, national brands. Okay, we're close in my area. We're close to $3 to 3.25, something like that range. And I don't know if I just lucked out or grabbed a sale or whatever, but I saw national brands, the good stuff, like the really good cake mix, okay? The ones I believe are good. Well-known national brands for the cake mix. $1.47. You know as heck that I am going to make those purchases, and I did. So I ordered 2 boxes of that, and there were a number of items that were actually much lower. I'll give another example. There was a tub of my favorite brand of butter, and one of the words in the title of the name of that brand of butter has the word lakes, lakes in it. Very, very quite good. And I can make that stretch. I find myself stretching that tub of butter longer than working with sticks of butter. Don't ask me why. Sticks are great for baking, cutting them out, measuring them for, accuracy for your recipe, for your baking recipe. But for spreadability, I much prefer whipped butter. Okay. And this particular brand of whipped butter this week, literally this week, was on sale at that site in the fresh, department for only $1.99. So I want to grab a couple of those. So yeah, look around. But then there are some weeks when I'll look around and go, huh, what happened? Like, wait a minute, this was so good 2 weeks ago. But sales are cyclical. We get into all that kind of stuff of that nature, things of that nature. So this month being the month of June, and me noticing a huge trend in people complaining more than ever about pricing and not being able to save, and you know all the frustrations that we go through in life. I do believe, but this is the way I think. And one of the things I did learn in my adult life, and it is the truth, is that everyone thinks differently. No two people think the same way. For me to think that everybody listening to this message, they may be listening to my message, but they may say, well, I don't expect anyone to think precisely the way I think. So the bottom line is, what I'm trying to say is, everyone doesn't think the same way that you might. Now, even though we collectively may have great intentions for someone else, right? And hoping and wishing and praying for the best, which is always, and it's always the way I think. I wish the absolutely best for everybody listening, people I know and people I don't know. But I saw so many lately videos, like almost like very despairing in their communications of to the folks of how they are so struggling, so very much struggling, with their budgets, or perhaps maybe that person or persons do not have a budget. This is why I do believe that the messages that everyone in our budgeting and frugal communities give. By the way, a huge shout out for everyone who is part of the frugal community, budgeting community, people that make videos to help others, to encourage them to save. I can't know every one of you. I know a handful of you, and the ones that I do know are great folks. Like, great. Thank you for your excellence. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for helping so many folks. I just want to say that I appreciate, and I'm sure without any doubt that the folks listening appreciate their efforts as well. Well, that's enough blabbering for this unexpected video to you today. But I really hope that for the ones who are interested, okay, and hopefully it'll raise some level of interest to those that never heard of this channel before. That's why it's really, really, really important for anyone to, if you find a video that really resonates to you, okay, don't hesitate to mention it to a friend or a neighbor. Clicking like is very, very helpful. So this particular month, in this month of June, it's going to be kind of like a double header kind of day. I would say at least 15 to 20 days during this month, you're going to see two videos. So I just thought I'd let you guys know in advance. But then once the month of June is over, then I'm going to go back to my regularly scheduled just at 5 o'clock for the regular morning videos. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate everybody's time. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Don't forget to come back in the future, or just make sure, this is important. Do you actually get my notifications? If not, maybe double check to see that you press the notification bell. And especially now that there's going to be a second video for a bunch of days during this month of June in 2025. So there's going to be extra videos this month. All right. Make sure your notification is on. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And I really do appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.